Today we're looking at Psalm 4. It was written by David when he faced a crisis, many of his enemies, and he turned his distressing experience into a song, amazingly, to point people to God. And his example just shows us how we can respond in times of crisis. Firstly, he looks to God. Verse 1, answer me when I call to you. Give me relief from my distress. Be merciful to me and hear my prayer. And the word distress there means to be pushed into a tight corner, pressed into a tight place. And that seems pretty relevant when people are self-isolating. Perhaps you're working from home. Perhaps you're working on the front line with very limited resources and the challenges of all of that. And it's an opportunity where we can look to God. Eventually for David, he did come out and he was brought into a spacious place instead. Psalm 18 and verse 19. Challenging until we get there, but that's our prayer. Secondly, David encourages his friends, his followers in this case. And so let's be encouragers of people around us, wherever we find ourselves. Verse 4, he encourages them in their anger, not to sin. I think in a crisis, it can bring out the best in people and the worst in people and ourselves also. And he continues and says, search your hearts and be silent. So it's easy to get angry at the sins of others, but actually we're to look at our own. We're to search our own hearts and not ignore our own, but confess those. So rather than tossing and turning in bed because of things others might be doing around us, let's check our own hearts as we do. And then in verse 6, it goes on and says, many are asking, who can show us any good? And many people are asking, can any good come out of this? And the good that David was looking for was simply that the light of God's face would shine upon him and upon his people. So let's be people out of whom good comes during this crisis. Let's be God's light and show his goodness to others. Let's pray. And I pray that you may live and work and rest and sleep in God's peace. Amen.